And that is what I did for this video. I don't know what the eventual results will be from people watching this, but if I do get at least 50, maybe 75 likes on this video, then I'll make an every North American 484 Northern type in 15 words or less as well. Okay, I either set the bar too low, I underestimated how many people would see that video, people wanted to see a different take on a video trend, two of them, or all three. But anyways, y'all asked, and ask and ye shall receive. The 484 type locomotive, often called Northerns, although a lot of railroads name them other things other than Northerns, was a locomotive type that came in during the 1920s and 1930s to aid in passenger trains and freight trains that had become too heavy for especially 482s and 462s to pull. The 484s would become icons for many railroads, and for the last 2 decades of the steam age, they were splendid like they were flagships, but it's all in the past. Except not really, because a lot of 484s were preserved. Although not every Northern type made it into preservation, they're still significant enough in the history of railroading and especially the steam age to talk about. In this video, I will be covering every 484 locomotive from North American railroads. As usual, this will be in alphabetical order, and to some extent will cover railroads that didn't originally order 484s, but bought them from other railroads. So, without further ado, here is every North American 484 type described in 15 words. Or less. Some of the first Northerns built and the second most survivors of all the Northerns. Handled passenger trains greatly, but had poor counterbalancing and a lot of dynamic augmenting. Flagships of the CN, coming in both streamlined and non-streamlined variations. To think that only 2 were built, and both made it into preservation. Copied the Southern Pacific's homework, tried to preserve one, couldn't, and they all died. Worked the C&O, one almost broke Mallard's record, now in Clifton Forge with green paint. Okay, a bell is on top, nothing C&NW, what have you been on? One got the gold, and is now scrap metal. But at least her sisters survive. Had the largest fleet of Northerns, yet only a tender is the reminder of them. Considering the fact that said tender from a Rock Island Northern is now the ox tender for Père Marquette 1225, I wanted to make a Père Marquette 1225 Christmas joke, but I'm holding that off for the Berkshire video. After all, it's still October. Reliable Laurentians hauling both freight and passenger trains across the D&H. The second owners of 484s and named for the mountains that they ran them through. Westerns for the Rio Grande, coming in both smiling and blank variations. Streamliners forgotten, but non-streamliners survive, with one returning to steam.
6325 Return to Steam.
Empire Builder flagships that now house a survivor lonely watching trains go by in half. Named after a valley that they operated in, tried to save one, but couldn't.
On the old Milwaukee Road, on the old Milwaukee Road, 7 trucks that turned inside, my oh my, what a wonderful ride.
Yeah, I had to break my own rules for a bit. The biggest engines of the Soo Line and all dead by 1954. A forgotten Northern that kept the route of the Eagles running hard.
Away, 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 we'll all go down to Dixie.
The biggest steamers in Mexico and the most survivors of the 484s. Last Alco steamers built, but nobody had the money to pay the scrap values. That and the New York Central was close to bankruptcy at the time.
She's the pride of the NNW, and she rolls again today. She's the finest steam train ever built, the 611 Class J.
Yeah, I had to break my own rules again. Anyways, I swear that's the last time. First Northern's built included Timken 1111, tried to save 1111, but all efforts failed sadly. Rebuilt from consolidations with 4 surviving and all in excursion service. Couldn't decide between calling them governors, generals, or statesmen, so did all 3 of them. Non-streamlined ones forgotten about, streamlined ones remembered, and even pulled the American Freedom Train.
Freedom train, that freedom train.
The few that were bought new and are now the closest to MP's Northern surviving. Considering the fact that SPNS 700 is also nicknamed the Night Princess, I wanted to make some kind of Nightmare Moon or Princess Luna joke in there, but I couldn't find a good clip to my liking. The biggest smile for the official locomotive of the state of Arkansas. Now with the livery of the Meteor, but it's still very stylish. CN484 copies, but very light and running through the heart of rural Ontario. The lightest 484s ever built for a railroad that crossed Illinois going east and west. The last steam locomotives built for the UP, and the very last, a living legend. Handled freight and passenger trains greatly, but Wabash didn't give preservation a thought. The shortest working lives of all the 484s built at just 7 years. Copied SP's homework, engine's dead, but tender survives because of rotaries. Alright, and once again, that is it for this video. And don't worry, I double checked. I looked at the steamlocomotives.com page. I checked it all. I swear I got everything this time, unlike last time. Anyways, this video was once again inspired by CalUnit Productions' 10 words or less videos, and the plethora of other 10 words or less videos for things like locomotives, railroads, etc. This video was made in response to my success of my every 482 type described in 15 words or less video, and honestly, seeing the responses made by all of you from that video has honestly made me so happy. I don't think I've been happier seeing this much positivity around a YouTube video I've made in a while. And if you're wondering what other wheel types that I'll cover next, the next video that I hope to do is every 284 Berkshire from North America in 15 words or less. So, do look forward to that. As usual, credits go to all the owners of the photos used in this video, and I hope you enjoyed this video too. Until next time, thanks for watching, and have a good day.